Welcome to Wanna Bet, the daily gambling game show that takes betting seriously, but not much else. Get our favorite plays on the totals, sides, props, exotics, and futures to jump on now. So let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Subject som känner konsolvata konsolferino. Let's get it started with Jason and Ben. Let's get it started with Jason.
Yo, welcome to Wanna Bet. I am Jason. That is Ben. This is Chopper. He's no longer with us, but he's always in our hearts. This is Quinny P, the mighty Quinn Priester, a surefire Wanna Bet Hall of Famer. Where did Choppy go? I'm going to need him later. I'm already dropping. These are lobsters. When we crush it on this show, we juggle 3 lobsters and we eat 3 lobsters. We love 3 lobster nights. Sometimes you're just staying alive, though, Beltway Ben. Sometimes you're that lobster trying to crawl out of the pot. Not me. It's not my time. So look, we do this every day, 7 days a week. We're on all kinds of gambling markets. And when we bet something, we bring it to the market here when we really like it. And we have to reprice it and we have to re-research it because a lot of these bets we made a day ago or 2 days ago or whatever. And we strive to, in real time, as we do this live, every day between 10 a.m. and noon, to give you the best real-time odds we possibly can on our favorite plays of the day across all the sports we love and love to bet. First, second, third down, our 3 favorite plays of the day. Fourth down can be a little bit of a catch-all. Fourth and long, a long-term bet, a long shot bet. Today, I'm looking at a couple long shots. It could be fourth and short to get you paid in the first period, first quarter, first half of games. Overtime. Football and football parlays every day because 'tis the season. And like we do here, we're totally transparent. We show our work, how we got there, what we're getting right, what we're getting wrong, what we're mooking up, what we're getting right. Look, I treaded water basically in the NFL yesterday. We hit some really nice plus money plays, a bunch of them. If Matt Stafford doesn't throw a ball off somebody's helmet, doesn't throw a pick six, it just wasn't his day. But man, he was right there. He could have easily cashed that for us. Brissett, I told you guys I was playing him over 300 as well. That cashed easy. The Blazers got a little sweaty at the end, but they kept it close enough. Treaded water, 2-2 in the Sunday night game. Could have really used another passing touchdown from Bo Nix. They had some plays where, he has a long completion. The guy gets tackled inside the 5-yard line. That stuff's going to happen sometimes. But yeah, a good Thanksgiving card through the weekend. So we're doing better in the NFL. We've been really solid in the NBA. Lost the Iowa State play over the weekend. College football almost done. Beltway Ben, you continue to hover around 50 units up in 6 months, which is pretty damn hard to do when you're making as many bets as we're making. We're each pushing 1,000 registered bets on this show. Do you know how many mooks out there, Beltway Ben, if they had to track the 1,000 bets, alleged gambling experts, what their cumulative rate of return would be on 1,000 bets in 6 months?
And then we have people claiming stuff like we put up the numbers. It is what it is. I mean, people complain left and right. We're putting up everything, and that's just where we're at.
Just keep watching and just keep cashing.
Yeah, exactly. Even the day that I forgot to do the betting slip, and everybody and their mother was out there saying we were hiding.
Funny. Nobody else in the industry does this, and then yet we're hiding. Yeah, I've rigged it so I'm plus 2.17 units up over 1,000 bets. Yeah, we're fudging the numbers. Out of here. Anywho, look, I'd love to see Portnoy's last 1,000 bets. I'd love to see all those assholes who have fake ass parlays. Oh, let's take these 6 guys to score a touchdown, who sucker people in. I'd love to see the rate of return when you go to your apps. Oh, Barstool's shilling this. I'd love to know, because I'm sure there's been over 1,000 of those in the last year across all sports. I'd love to know your rate of return on those. You'll never know. They'll never tell you.
Right. But no, for me yesterday, we were down right around 3 units. It was tough. Had RJ Harvey late last night. He just looked awful. Gunnar Helm finishes with 23 receiving yards. Should have just played him at 20 plus. We take it at 24.5. It's easy to say now because I don't think there was much difference just because how the guy is. And he's not 4 yards usually doesn't make a difference in that spot. So I should have just played it a little lower, but it is what it is. Brees Hall was getting going in the second half. Was really hoping Folk missed that field goal. If he misses that field goal, we get overtime, and I think Hall goes over, but he wasn't able to clear. We did cash Judkins over 1.5 receptions at plus 168. We cashed
that was genius.
Good plays.
That cashed 7 plays into that game.
No, literally. When he cashed when he called a pass on the first drive, I was like, all right, we're set. The second play of the next drive, he catches it. I'm like, yes, there we go. We're good.
Yeah. And look, that Cleveland game, I got the Garrett sack. Now, there's a muff punt late in that game. There were 2 muff punts in that game. And the muff punt late in the game, we're sitting there on under 24 for San Francisco, and we're getting 11 points with Cleveland. With every fiber in my body. And, I mean, Browns had a chance to get points at the end of the first half. That wasn't a total cakewalk for San Francisco. Go look at McCaffrey's numbers in that game. It was a struggle. Purdy didn't pee on his leg like I thought he would, but that guy fields that punt at the end of that with 7 minutes left in that game. I feel really good about another plus money cash there. But, hey, Stefanski, find a new punt returner. All right. So that's where things stand since we launched the show on May 21st. First down for me today, Beltway Ben. We are going to stay in the association where we were on the Blazers last night. Just a couple of money line plays that we've made. Greeky Freaky is back. We're excited about that. We were cashing a lot of Greeky Freaky tickets early in the season. Thought that Vegas maybe hadn't come around to just how good he can be and how effective that Bucs offense can be with him. We're playing a lot of Bucs team totals over. Now, they've fallen apart as a team when he got hurt again, but he's back. He played back-to-back games over the weekend. They cut his minutes against Brooklyn. Still almost had a triple-double. Hint, that's a tease. That's a tease for fourth down. And then they get a day off, and he gets to come to Washington where everybody feasts. I like this number because it's under 10, Beltway Ben. When the Wizards are a dog of 10 points or less this season, they are 1-6 against the spread. They have failed to cover by 25.5, 27.5, 1.5, half point, sweaty, 26.5, and 22.5. It's a lot of points. Might be noticing a trend there. The Bucs have won 9 of their last 10 games against Washington. They've averaged 124 a game in that process. I like the way they played since the Greek Freak has been back. There's new hope. And Washington's been one of the worst covering teams in the NBA. So we like that at 8.5. We also like the Rockets laying 11.5. Beltway Ben, they played the Jazz last night and they beat them by 27. They're playing the Jazz again tonight. One of those weird NBA quirks. The Rockets are out for blood. The Rockets look like they want to give OKC a run for their money. They figured out how KD fits in, and they are road warriors. Beltway Ben, they're 9-1 against the spread on the road this season. They've covered 5 straight on the road. That's 9-1, again, ATS. Those games, they win on average by 12 points. They cover on the road on average by 8.4 points. They've covered 8 of their last 9 road games by 5.5 points somewhere. That's 2 possessions. That's not super sweaty. We like that. All 9 of their road covers, they've covered by at least 3.5 points. They're 10-5 against the spread as a favorite. And it's a Jazz team that if you break down who they cover against and who they don't, when they get huge numbers, they sometimes do okay. This 11.5 is not a huge number. But against teams that are in the top 15 in the NBA standings right now. So if you look at those NBA standings, you cut them in half after 15. Go look at it 1 through 30, not by conference. They are 3-7 against the spread against top 15 teams in the NBA. And they're playing another one tonight. That's a top 5 team that ran them over last night. Do I have a little bit of pause about back-to-back? And do the Jazz figure something out? And do the Rockets take them a little lightly? I mean, maybe, but the Rockets' second team is really good, Ben. And, if this gets off to a tough start for the Jazz, I could see this thing getting up to 25, 27 again at some point in this game. And that's where I go to sort of my rule of thumb. Do I think they could get to double this number at some point in the game, maybe by midway through third quarter? And if I do, then even garbage time, I still feel good about the bet. So that's how I've evaluated this. It's moving up to 12.5 in a lot of places, but you can still find an 11.5 out there. at minus 110.
Yeah, for me, we are going to play an NBA play just like you just did. And we're going to go with Goga Batadze, and we'll play him right over 4.5 rebounds, which you can get at minus 120 depending where you shop around. Now, I'm giving this out at minus 120, but as always, I tell people if you like plus money plays, play him for 6, one more than this, and you can get that at plus 136 depending on where you shop. I know some places his number's 5.5 with juice, but here you could find him for minus 120 at 4.5, and I would also give out plus 136 for 6+ rebounds. He's got 9, 7, and 6 in 3 of his last 5 games. Now, there's a few of those in there where he only had 3 boards, played 16 minutes, weird spots, whatever. Go look at what the Bulls are doing against opposing bigs with rebounds. Pascal Siakam, 9. Huff, 8. Jackson, 11. Bridges and Diabate, 2 games ago, had 8. Kalkbrenner had 5. Yez Misi, 14. Sadiq Bey, who's a forward, he's the 3, stretches to the 4 a little bit. When Zion's out, he had 13. Alex Sarr had 11. And this is the most comparable spot right here. Vucevic had 8 for the Wizards. Now, Vuce is only playing 15 to 20 minutes since Bagley's been out, and that's what we're going to get from Batadze here. Batadze won't play 30 minutes, and we're not going to get that. But when he's on the court, we're getting a lot of different rebounds just because he's aggressive and he's always staying around the glass. That's why they don't keep him on the court a lot. He doesn't offer them anything outside. He's not a great perimeter defender, but on the interior, he's very good, and he can give them some minutes when they sit Wendell Carter, because Wendell Carter gets gassed a lot, and they like giving him a little bit of a break. So as I said,
he does run.
Could we get 18 to 20 minutes from Batadze tonight? I think so. And in that time span, it's not a lot. You don't like taking bench players. You don't like taking role players. But against this Bulls team that's allowing more rebounds than almost anybody in the NBA, right around 50 per game, I think it's a good spot for Batadze to go over 4.5 at minus 120. And I like him over 5.5, which you can get a plus 136.
He's a little bit like our guy Andre Drummond, who, boy, Beltway Ben, I don't know about you, but I had it circled for tomorrow night against the Wizards. And then he only plays 6 minutes last night.
Right.
And then Embiid plays like 28 and looks kind of like dog shit. Like, I think I might be off that Sixers-Wizards game. Like, I don't know that I'm going to have, like, I had, like, maybe maxi rebounds. Like, I don't know.
Well, the issue is.
But Drummond getting hurt, that's a bit, like, that was, dude, I was going to play Drummond double-double. Like, I couldn't wait for that to populate. And now he's not going to play.
Another issue is, I don't know if it's Nurse or what, but their injury report is so different in the morning than by the time we're at work. Like, guys change off and on. Well, they're not going to play, and then all of a sudden they get upgraded to questionable. Like, that's the only thing that's tough. Like, when we do it early, it's like the Sixers you just don't know with. They're such an odd team.
Is Oubre banged up right now too?
Yes, yes.
I didn't see him in the box score yesterday. No, I mean, I was just box score watching it during the NFL game. I wasn't like watching that, freaking religiously watching the Sixers game because I was watching the football game in the place.
He's out a few weeks.
Yeah, so that's another guy who I'm like, why don't I see him in the box score? That's another guy whose rebounds I would have played. So anyway, because we work ahead, and if you're not working ahead, you're not really finding value in the marketplace. Anywho, second down. How's this? I feel like I don't want to jinx it, Ben. But I feel like the new laptop is kicking ass today, huh? I'm moving around.
I think we figured our issues out. I'll just say that.
Huh?
I think we figured our issues out.
You think it's in the past? We're on Twitter right now, too, or no?
Yeah.
We're double streaming?
Yep. And we're recording for podcast, so the podcast will be posted at like 11:15.
Apple Bottomsers and Spotifyers are going to get the podcast at 11:15?
Not live, but right when we're done this, yeah.
Right. Wow. All right.
Don't have to record it for another hour
Happy
at work.
days are past. You know what? We got our Christmas present early. Although, in full disclosure, it probably should have been a 4th of July present. So that's all how you view it.
That's what I was thinking of the other day. Like, well,
I mean, it probably should have been a happy 4th of July if you go back to some of the conversations that were going on in the spring. But better late than never.
We're there.
Also, we're pretty aligned again. Have you noticed? This is like the second time in the last. It's almost.
Yes.
Just look at your return.
It's actually
it's almost. That's as good as it's ever going to be lined up. And I do wish I had won a bet with 2 T's. Like as an homage to like Rat, your dad would get this, to like Rat or like Motley Crue, where like or Def Leppard, DEF.
I know Motley Crue because I know that.
You know Motley Crue with the 2, what is it, the Uberlock or whatever they call it?
Die
Bundesliga! The 2 things up there. But is it too late now to change it to want to bet with 2 T's?
I think we're far too into this to give it a quick change.
If you're in the comments, I think it'd be funny if we had like a second logo that had one a bet with two T's, and we put like I don't think you can put the umlaut thing over A's. Like, I don't know if that works. We have a German friend who likes to correct me. I don't know. Does that only go over U's
We have a German
or like
friend
E's?
correct me.
Dude, I think we should have an alternative logo, like for the hardcore OGs.
Yeah,
And
well,
it's
that could
one
be
a
like
bet with
City
two
Connect.
T's and
Our
the
City
two dots
Connect.
over one of the A's.
That's our City Connect.
That's our City Connect.
Yeah, that would
Don't
be
you
it.
think?
That would be-
You have no idea. Like, I'm being so serious right now.
We've already, with all the branding, I don't know.
I know, but dude,
But we can't just put a T on. It would have to be like a true alternate logo. Like, it'd have to be with two T's, but look a little different than what we have now.
Well, yeah, I think we get like a drum set in there or like a guitar and still like we figure. Yeah, it's like an alternative thing. Or we get like, Vince Neil's face on the basketball or something like that, or,
I'm not
or
familiar
Joe
with
Elliott
him, but yeah.
or Billy Squire.
Only familiar with him for the few episodes on here, but yeah. Billy Squire, great artist.
Dude, I think it looks good with two T's. And we put an umlaut up there. And we try to get like an 80s, I don't know, like an 80s font. I don't even know what that would be. There probably is. Maybe like electric or something.
Yeah, there's something that they could make it look right.
Huh? Dude, that would be hilarious. Anywho. Okay. We gotta get moving. Trevion Henderson, over 60.5 rushing yards, Beltway Ben, minus 150. This is going fast. This was at MGM. Everybody else had this around 63.5. When it's 3 yard difference, I'm just gonna tell you it was bet MGM. And honestly, it was when I played this yesterday, it was like minus 118. So it's moving. Why do I like this? He's at 55 plus in 5 in a row. We all think Vrabel's finally realized he's their best back. He's got 60 plus rushes in 4 of his last 5, but it's a fate of the Giants. The Giants could win a rare quadruple crown here, Beltway Ben, where they allow the most rushing touchdowns. And it's my quadruple crown. We'll call it the Wanna-Bet quadruple crown. They've allowed 17 rushing touchdowns already this year, so they're on their way to leading the league in that territory. Their success rate, 51.9, dead last in the league. It's 2 for 2. How about yards per carry, 5.9, worst in the league, 3 for 3. And how about their rush defense EPA? Well, my friends at True Media have their rush defense EPA at minus 50.4. That's worst in the league, and it's not close. 31st is minus 25.17. They're twice as bad as the next worst team out of 32 teams. Do I need to belabor this point? I really don't think so, right? They've been content to run the ball inside the 20s a little bit more. May's passing touchdowns have gone down the last few weeks, although we'll get to that. So, Beltway, Ben, we also like Henderson 70-plus rushing yards and an anytime touchdown at plus 340. It pains me because we played this at 365 yesterday at plus 300. Plus 240 at bet 365 was the best place we could find it this morning. 70 rushing yards for Henderson and an anytime touchdown, plus 240. And just a quick recap, recently against the Giants, Gibbs, 15 for 219. Jacobs, 7 for 40 before he got hurt. Swift, 13 for 80. McCaffrey, 28 for 106. Like, not a great yards per carry, but the volume was there. You stick with it. Barkley, who doesn't run on anybody, 14 for 150. Dobbins, 14 for 81. I see you shaking your head, Beltway, Ben.
Well, I'm shaking my
Is
head
it
big
Beltway
time.
Ben with 2 ends?
Yeah,
Dude, when we do the 80s one, like we put, can we like that'll say Ben Hall, Ben with 2 ends.
Jason, you know what I mean? Jason with 2
Lock
ends.
and Flora with like 3 A's at the end and like ooh block or whatever they're called. Over all the A's.
Yeah. It would have to be like a throwback episode. You know what I mean?
We've got, first of all, we got to get a
throwback
3 lobster
week.
double bib night. Yeah, a throwback week. Maybe to celebrate the 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, that's actually really.
And we
good.
get Billy Squire to come on and make a pick.
Yeah,
Dude,
that would be impressive.
My head would explode.
That would be impressive. You think he bets?
You think he's on Twitter? I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna try to snuff him out on Twitter. Well,
Yeah.
well,
See if you can get Billy.
Now,
Now, second down, though, the reason I'm shaking my head is because I'm right there with you with the New England Patriots run game today. Now, I do agree. I was leaning Trevion Henderson just playing his prop, but instead, discovering these team rushing props and the way that I like them. I'm fine going with this.
Juicy.
Ramondre Stevenson was on the injury report during the week. He didn't look right last week coming back from the toe injury. It was clear to me something was still wrong. Did not look good at all, but he's off the injury report this week. Is he going to be 100%? No, probably not, but he'll get a few carries here or there, and I think he'll have 10-plus rushing yards in this game. Now, Jason talked about how bad the Giants' run defense has been since week 6. I like cutting stuff down sometimes. Jason explains it for the full year, and that's another thing I talked about yesterday where when you have a team that struggles for a full season and it continues to struggle, it's not fixable. It's not going to be fixed. So you have this Giants defense right now, 51.5% defensive success rate against the run. That's dead last. And as Jason said, their EPA is dead last in the NFL
By
since
a
week
country
6.
mile.
Yeah, and it's not even close. And also in that time frame, 2.73 yards before contact for opposing running backs. Not even close. They are dead last in that as well. The Patriots are over this in just one of their last 4. But in 3 of those games, Ramondre was out. It was all Henderson. And to that point, Vrabel is kind of weird with rookies. We saw it in Tennessee. We've seen it here this year. All of a sudden, we're seeing Henderson kind of get more and more carries, and they're starting to believe in him. It just has always taken some time with Vrabel. They got to earn the trust. Now, as I said before, Ramondre was banged up during the week. I expect him to get, 5, 6 carries somewhere in there, and he should be able to get 10 yards there. Another big thing with this prop, Drake May's rushing ability. He's got 20-plus rushing yards in 5 of 7 games, and he's also got up to 60-plus in multiple of those spots. When you look at what the Giants have done, 237 allowed last week against the Lions. Jason talked about it. That was to Jahmyr Gibbs. Josh Jacobs, 128 against the Packers. He was out before halftime. Like, he was out in the first half. They still allowed over this number against the Packers. 171 against the Bears. 159 against the 49ers. 276 in that second matchup against the Eagles, where after the first one, they realized Saquon could dominate this team. 142 against the Broncos. That's 6 straight weeks opposing rushing offenses have cleared this total. McDaniels, he's been up and down in the past between being a pass-heavy offense and those things. He's been relatively balanced this year, I'd say. Like, it's been up and down, but it's been relatively balanced. I would expect them to attack this weak Giants defense on the ground, and it's a fair number for me. As the Giants have given it up in 6 straight weeks, I don't know that the Patriots are going to be the week they finally figure it out.
We're simpatico, basically. We're simpatico hacks. Third down. Maybe my favorite thing about this whole game is just the over. 46.5 at -110. It has not ticked up like I thought it would. And that's not just one shop. There's still a couple places. Do I think it's going to 47? Yeah, I thought it would have been there by now. I'm glad it's not. The Giants are over in 6 of their last 7 games, Beltway Ben. Giants road games average 53.16 points. That's a lot. Giants defense sucks. And the Giants offense is game, whether it's Jameis or Dart. Not Russ. With Russ, I'd be playing this maybe under. But Dart's back. I'm not sure how much he's going to run, but he will be chucking it around. He saw what Jameis did. Jameis throwing bombs, catching touchdown passes. Like, Dart will be up for this. The Giants, 5 of their last 7 games have been 51 points or more in total. 4 of the last 5 Patriots games are 46 or more. And it's not just that these Giants games go over. They go over like crazy. Plus 10.5, plus 5.5. The one that didn't cash lately went under by half a point. Over by 10.5. Over by 14.5. Over by 24.5. Over by 10.5. How about the Pats? 4-6 to the over their last 6. 3-1 to the over at home. The offense looked really good against the Giants in prime time in a short week. When last we saw, or 2 weeks ago, stumbled a little bit against the Bengals. Bengals defense is marginally better. And I like them here with extra rest on the Monday night game at home to get us there. I'm playing them at 24.5, and we'll get to that. But I think we get probably closer to 30 out of the Patriots when it's all said and done. And it's not an airtight defense. I think Jackson Dart will find some joy. So we're going to go over that 46.5.
I'm going to stick with this game here, and we'll play it just with a guy that I like to take in primetime spots with what he's done. And he's done this twice this year with them in primetime. We're going to go with Stephon Diggs, over 46.5 receiving yards, which you can find at -110.
I looked long and hard at this.
Yeah, I mean, given the matchup, I'm also going to play him anytime touchdown. Now, the value should be a little bit better. I'm kind of upset, but he does have this in 3 of his last 5 games, and Drake May really trusts going his way in these spots. The Giants, as bad as they are against the run, they're also a bottom 5 pass defense in the NFL. The 2 primetime games this year for Stephon Diggs, he cleared this in both, and it wasn't particularly close. I mean, he was going off, making a bunch of big plays. He cleared the yardage. The touchdown, we need to see one from him tonight, and I think we will. He's a big-time player who thrives off of these environments, and he gets fired up under the lights. Now, sometimes under the lights, like Drake May's been very good, but under the lights with some pressure, we see younger quarterbacks really feed off of and lean on the more experienced wide receiver they have. Stephon Diggs is one of the more experienced wide receivers in the division, in the NFL. I do expect Drake May to look his way early and often. And Diggs, when he starts to get going, like if he's going to have 2 or 3 receptions in the first half, it's going to carry on. He's a guy who's built off of rhythm and aggression and feeling good. Like we know how he can be off the field and on the sideline, some frustrations and stuff. New England has done a damn good job kind of calming that and being very good after training camp where we really didn't know what was going to go on after that trip that he took. But I do like Stephon Diggs to have a big day. They've calmed him. He's been very good there, and it's been the perfect fit for what the offense that's just been amazing, and nobody really could have seen this coming. So I do like Stephon Diggs anytime touchdown at plus 115, and we'll also take him over 46.5 receiving yards at minus 110.
Nice. No, I think this is such a point guard pass game that you kind of feel like he could spray it to anybody, Boutte, whoever. But I do think primetime Diggs is the one veteran dog there. I think he eats. I think the tight end Henry has a touchdown catch too, but I just think it. I'm not betting it, but I think it. And that's usually when it happens, when I really, really, really like something and then I don't play it. Anyhow, 4th and long, I hinted at this earlier. Let's get freaky, Greeky, freaky, triple-double, plus 850. Yeah, I said it. Look, Beltway Ben, he's played 2 games since he came back. He faced the Knicks, played 28 minutes, 30 points, 15 rebounds, 8 assists. Ooh, so close. Then he comes back the next night against Brooklyn. He basically plays half the game. 19 minutes. What does he do? 28 points, 8 rebounds, 12 assists. Okay. Opening night, he faced the Wizards. How did that go? Who he plays tonight? 37 points, 14 rebounds, 5 assists. But it was the first game. They were figuring some things out. Where does this Rollins kid fit in? Is Kuzma any good this year? Boy, he sucked when we got him last year. So there was a lot of missed shots there. He could have had him and watched the game. He could have had more than 5 assists. I was frankly surprised. That going back and looking at that box score, I felt like he had 7 or 8. He had 5. The Wizards, Beltway Ben, have had 3 players post triple doubles on them already this year. And I didn't have to look this up because, again, we watch the Wizards, so you don't have to. I'm like, LaMelo Ball got one in October, right? Yeah. Then the double overtime game against the Pistons that I kind of got effed on with Cade Cunningham scoring like 50 points on like 500 shots. Yeah, there was that one. And then, they went to Chicago, and that one like could have gone overtime, and Giddey got the triple-double, and the Bulls didn't cover that one. Yeah. Just for your edification, I then went and looked up all the triple-doubles this year. The only teams that have allowed more triple-doubles than the Wizards this year, so write this down because we're going to follow this, the Jazz have allowed 4 triple-doubles already this year. And the Warriors come out to play. The Warriors have allowed 4 triple-doubles this year. Beltway Ben, for plus 850, how about the Wizards allow their 4th triple-double tonight? And the Greeky Freaky gets all kinds of freaky across that box score. He leaves his mark all over the box score tonight. So there's that. And then if we're on a plus 850 triple-double, then wouldn't you want to, for half a unit, Choppy? For half a unit, wouldn't you want to put that on the Joker too? And if you do, at 365, you get plus 1676. Like Joker's at home, he gets a lot of triple doubles at home. Like they're playing Dallas. Dallas is better lately. AD, all of a sudden, they're a little better on the boards with him. But like, how much is he going to play in this game? Like they played back-to-backs over the weekend. They certainly look a little better. But I just figured if this Greeky Freaky hits, you know what I mean? And I've been on, thanks to Dr. Jerry Aloysius Coleman, the late great. He put me on the Joker home triple doubles, and then you start looking at the numbers, and you're like, damn. So anyhow.
Well, we'll just build off of what you were just talking about. I had it in one of my first 3 downs earlier, and I was going to give out a few extra things during overtime, but because you talked about it, we might as well just give it out here. one thing that me and Jason do a lot, as he said, is watch Wizards games and help you guys out. So you don't have to because we know what's going on. So every time the Wizards play, almost every time, you can bet that both of us will be on it because we usually are either the same way or a few different ways. I'm just going to play Giannis for over 10.5 rebounds at minus 140. Shop around because it's 11.5 in a lot of spots, but bet 365. You can still get this number for now at 10:55 a.m. Eastern time for anybody else. But we'll also play 14 plus rebounds at plus 260. I was considering
now
doing
we're
a choppy.
talking.
I was considering doing a choppy. This is for the 4th and long. I'm just going to play it for a unit. He did it the last time they faced off. The Wizards allow guys to get here regularly, and they don't have guys taking boards for him. Like, it's not Cleveland where you have Jarrett Allen and Evan Mobley. Like, Turner will rebound a little bit. Portis will.
Yeah.
Giannis takes the ball when he wants, and guys clear when they see Giannis there. It's like, get the F out the way. I got the ball.
Yeah.
And we see him do that regularly. Yeah. That's just how he plays it. And I think that'll be the case tonight against the Wizards. As bad as the Wizards are and up and down as the Bucks are, this is going to be a spot where he wants to remind people who he is and who they are. And that'll be 30-plus points, and it could honestly be 20-plus rebounds. I didn't play it because I was too nervous. Giving a guy for 20 rebounds is insane. And that would also be the case that it would have to be down to the end, right? I would have to get 8 minutes in the fourth quarter to cash a 20-plus rebound bet. So we'll take 14 because I think he could play a few minutes in the fourth quarter. They blow him out a little late and get pulled. 14 rebounds isn't too much to ask for a guy who's done it in almost half of his games this season. So we'll take Giannis 14-plus rebounds at plus 260, and we'll also take him just over 10.5 rebounds at minus 140.
I like it. All right, overtime for me. I wish I could give out this bet the way I played it yesterday, but you can't get plus money anymore doing it that way. So I had to get off of the New England money line and replace it with New England minus 2.5. But you can get Drake May to throw 2 passing touchdowns tonight, the Pats to win by a field goal, and the Pats to score 24 points at plus 108. Look, May, first 3 games of the year, slow start, wasn't throwing a lot of touchdown passes. He's thrown 2 or more touchdown passes in 9 of 11 games since. He's thrown 2 or more passing touchdowns with at least 250 yards in 4 of his last 5 home games. The Giants have allowed 2 or more passing touchdowns in 5 of their last 6 games. In that 6-game stretch, Beltway Ben, they've allowed 14 passing touchdowns. They allow touchdowns outside the red zone through the air. The Pats have scored 23 more in 9 straight games. The Pats have scored 24 or more in 4 straight at home. The Giants, again, there's a reason why I went with 24 and didn't take this at the 27 or 28, which is where the corporate line is. The Giants have allowed 24 or more in 7 of 8. So that to me seemed like a key number. And yeah, I think New England can win by a field goal. But again, yesterday, this was at plus 106 for just swap out the 2.5 and put in the money line. But again, we're not going to give out 9,000 bets on these shows, and you're always trying to weigh what you can get away with and what you can't. We did jump double overtime this EPL parlay early, though. EPL, interesting week. We got matches on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We'll be on all those match days. But we wanted to get on some of these Tuesday games early. Bournemouth and the Everton Toffees over 2.5 goals. Bournemouth, another batshit crazy game over the weekend. We know the goals skew higher on the road than at home. But the Cherries now are kind of like dropping some points. They got to get right here. There have been 4+ goals in 7 of the Cherries' last 8 games. We just need 3 out of the Toffees and the Cherries in Bournemouth. Our guy Holland, visibly frustrated after Man City's win. They blow a 2-0 lead to Leeds. They come back, win anyway, late. He's frustrated. He's not seeing enough of the ball inside the 18. Boy, I think he's overdue for a goal. And I like the matchup that they have with Fulham. I wish it was home and not road, but he's a big boy. He can score on the road. So Holland anytime goal. And then Newcastle to score at least twice at home to Tottenham. Newcastle scored 2 or more goals in 6 straight at home. Newcastle at home, it's just been offensive chance after offensive chance after offensive chance. Spurs are winless in 6 in a row across all competitions. We'll get more into that game tomorrow. But for now, Bournemouth Everton to score 3 goals total. Erling Haaland anytime goal. And Newcastle to score twice at home against Tottenham. Plus 430 for the Apple Bottoms, and Spotifyers.
We're going to play two different things here. We'll play an NFL close to plus 100 that we always do. And then we'll also play an NBA parlay that I put a lot of different things in. But this one's just plus 157. Devin Singletary, 20 plus rush yards. Ramondre Stevenson, 10 plus rush yards. Stephon Diggs, 25 plus receiving. And Slayton, 15 plus receiving, plus 157. For Singletary and Stevenson, I get it. It's risky. When you have Tyrone Tracy in New York, I still think they're kind of leaning on Singletary a little bit. They trust what he has. He's the vet. He's played in these games a bunch from his time in Buffalo. I think they trust him enough, 20 plus rushing yards. I do trust him to probably get there against a Patriots defense that since Milton Williams has been out, that run defense is not nearly as dominant as they once were. Ramondre Stevenson, 10 plus. I'm taking the risk here. He didn't look right last week, but he's off the injury report. I talked about Vrabel with backups and rookies and all of that earlier. I do think Ramondre gets us 5 to 6 carries today, and 10 yards shouldn't be an issue against a bad Giants run defense. Now, Stephon Diggs, 25 plus. We touched on him earlier. Even in the games where he has not had the breakouts this year, 25 has been no issue for him. That's kind of a toss-in to improve the odds a little bit. And then Slayton, 15 plus receiving yards. He was very good when Dart was playing before. Now, he suffered an injury a few weeks that Jameis was in there, and he came back last week and had one big catch. 15 yards for him. The way that he plays, I know will probably be matched up with Gonzalez, and it'll be weird. 15 yards for him is one catch. So I think he can get there and get us one catch. And Dart really likes throwing his way. Wan'Dale Robinson, we know how dominant he's been, how great he's been. New England's going to make it a point of emphasis to take that away because he can change games. We've seen it against Dallas. We saw it last week against Detroit. We've seen him really take games over and keep them in some of these games they quite honestly shouldn't be in with how bad that defense is. Now, here's where we're going for the NBA. A lot of different stuff we're chucking in to get us to plus 231. Giannis, 10 plus rebounds. Franz, 20 plus points. Goga, 4 plus rebounds. Sengun, 15 plus points. And the Rockets on the money line at plus 231. I will also give this out now as an official play. You combine Franz and Goga. So Franz, 20 plus points. Goga, 4 plus rebounds. You can get it
this
right
is
around
Franz Wagner we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Just for people who aren't hardcore.
Yeah. And Batazi, Alperen Şengün, the Rockets on the money line, and Giannis. Hopefully nobody gets that Giannis mixed up with the other one in the who even knows what league. But no, we like Giannis to get
There's another Giannis?
No, I was joking.
I was going to say, I had a second Giannis. Where? Like in the Greek league?
Yeah, probably. But no, Giannis 10 boards. We talked about it against the Wizards. I don't see him having an issue getting there. He's one of those prideful players that kind of plays to win, and he does. I'm not knocking that, but he also likes to add on, and we'll see that here. Franz, 20 plus points. This is a good matchup for him against the Bulls. He should be taking over. He's been scoring a ton since Paolo's been out. I don't expect that to change. Bane has given them a lot, but they still need Franz scoring. Goga, I talked about it for a while earlier. I just don't see him going under. Şengün, 15 plus. He's done this in all but one game this season. The Rockets should not lose to the Jazz. I'd be shocked. Before the Franz and Goga play, again, you get that at minus 116. If you shop around, parlay those two together. It's a fair price for me, and it's a same game parlay. You probably could find a boost on some of these apps if you look around to get you to plus money, to be quite honest with you. So again, it's just Franz and Goga. That's the official play, and so is this one, which again, for the listener, sorry. Giannis 10, Franz 20, Goga 4 rebounds, Şengün 15 plus points, and Rockets money line plus 231.
That's it? Excellent. That's the show. Beltway Ben, again, we do this at the beginning and the end of every show, not because anybody made us, not because those are the official gambling rules. There are no rules, because we actually keeps it real. So that's what we've done since our first show with Katie Mox on May 21st. We're going to have to go a little early tomorrow. I have a funeral to go to for Coach Joe Brune, legendary Loyola Blakefield football coach and English teacher and college advisor, who I got to know well at my time in high school, graduated with his son, Colin. So we're going to go a little early tomorrow because Coach Brune's funeral is at 11. So are we thinking 9 tomorrow, Beltway Ben? Does that still work for you?
Yep, 9 works.
All right. So we will be early tomorrow and then probably back into that noon slot for the rest of the week. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Please shoot us an email at wannabetwithus. wannabetwithus at gmail.com. We'll read them on air. If we should start the alternative logo, my wheels are already turning. Let us know what you think of that. I wonder if we do better. I think we do better when our logos are aligned in the middle of the screen. That's just my feeling. I don't have data to back that up. One more bite of the lobster for good luck. Hope everybody had a Thanksgiving. And thank you for betting with us. We'll see you on Tuesday.